everyone, and welcome to
The Movie House.
Today we're going to talk to you about a movie from 1963 called Charade, starring Cary Grant, and Audrey Hepburn, and Walter Matthau. Who else is in it?
George Kennedy.
Right?
Jason Robards.
No.
Jason.
No.
James Coburn.
James Coburn, that's the guy.
James Coburn.
Yes. Okay, so what did you think of it?
I like it. I'm a huge fan of Cary Grant and Audrey Hepburn, and I had recently read Diane Cannon's autobiography, Dear Carrie, and his daughter Jennifer Grant's autobiography called Good Stuff. So we have a lot of Cary Grant in our personal library, so I decided, hey, this past Saturday, it was my birthday, so I chose to watch Charade, which we're reviewing right now, and North by Northwest.
Right.
So, and I love Audrey Hepburn. I'm also a huge Audrey Hepburn fan. I enjoy many of her movies, and both Cary Grant and Audrey Hepburn were great style icons as well. And so I enjoy following their fashion through the years. But yeah, it's a great movie. It's one of his last movies that he did. And I thought this was interesting. He had opportunity to do Roman Holiday across from Audrey Hepburn, and I think Sabrina as well. And he turned down both roles because he felt he was too old to be the love interest to Audrey Hepburn. So it's interesting that he changed his mind all these years later because he was, what, in his 60s?
He was almost 60. He was 59.
Yeah. And Audrey Hepburn was in her 30s. And it's interesting that now he chose, it was okay to be the love interest. And his wife, Diane Cannon, who was his current girlfriend, was in her 20s. So I thought that was interesting that he didn't like to do it artistically, but in his personal life, it didn't matter to him that his wife was so much younger than him.
Right. So this movie starts out, I think, with one of the greatest openings ever. You see a train going down the tracks and a body fly out of the side and land in the ditch, and a dead body is staring at you from the screen. And you're like, what was that all about? And it pretty much takes you the whole movie to figure out what exactly is going on there. But it's a great opening, and of course, like you said, Grant and Audrey Hepburn are very good in their roles. They're a good team. They obviously had a good time working together. I think he said after making this movie that he just loved working with Audrey Hepburn. The greatest gift he could get would be to make another movie with her. So
yes,
that comes across, I think, on the screen. And you've got some great supporting actors. Walter Matthau, James Coburn, and George Kennedy were all Oscar winners eventually in their career, and they're playing parts in this movie. It's a story of intrigue. You don't know exactly what's going on. All you know is that everybody's related to this dead body at the beginning of the movie in some fashion, and there's money at stake. There's $250,000 at stake, which in 1963 was a considerable amount of money.
Yes,
go a long, long way. And so there's greed and avarice and scheming and crosses and double crosses and all kinds of stuff going on here. And but it's all told with sort of a sense of humor as well. It's not a stark, serious sort of thing. It's got stakes, but they throw a lot of humor in to sort of ease the audience through the story.
Yes, and I think that's what's so great about it, because Cary Grant had great comedic flair, and it's very apparent in this. And he's so sophisticated looking at the same time. And I like it too because they kind of have running gags through the whole movie. Like, I love it that Audrey Hepburn's character is always hungry.
Right.
She's always wanting food. So I thought that was great because here's this beautiful, waif of a woman, and she's always like, can I have that? I need some food. Please feed me. So I always enjoy that. And I think one of the best what I thought was funny is at one point, Cary Grant and Audrey Hepburn, and he makes a line, "I'll take you, where do you live? I'll take you to the street where you live." And that's, you know, a nod to My Fair Lady.
Which she hadn't made yet.
Yeah, but it's interesting.
She was going to make it the next year.
Yeah, but it's interesting that he says that.
It's kind of coincidental. Yeah.
Yeah. So I like that kind of humor throughout it. And there's a lot of twists and turns in the movie. So you don't really know where it's going the first time you watch it.
Right.
Now, having seen it several times, I know exactly where it's going, but it's still a good movie and good acting, great. They shot it in Paris. They shot it in, I think it was the south of France and London. Did they go to London? No, I think it's all pretty much all in France. But just the costumes, the cars, really, really cool looking cars in Europe. And so it's a really, really good movie. I thought it really holds up. You said that it was redone?
Yes, it was redone by Jonathan Demme in 2008, I believe. It was called The Truth About Charlie. And Jonathan Demme directed it. Mark Wahlberg and Thandie Newton starred in it. So we're going to check that out.
We're going to check that out to see if it's as good. Because, you know, as we know, sometimes it doesn't work. But it worked in the True Grit, so it might work in Charade. It just might. But I think it's a good movie. I think it holds up well, and it's a good story, great acting, great timing, comedic timing, and a lot of good twists and turns in it.
Yeah, it holds up. Some of the action scenes are dated, but compared to what they can do these days, but that's to be expected. But you go with it. It works. And there's a homage sort of to North by Northwest from this movie too, where at one point Cary Grant's hanging off of a side of a building, like he was hanging off the side of Mount Rushmore in North by Northwest. So there's a lot of those sort of little things you can pick up on if you're aware.
It's fun.
But yeah, it's a good movie. If you haven't seen it, by all means, check it out. You'll enjoy it. Okay, that's it for us. We'll see you next time.
Bye.